Thank
Thank you.
you. Oh my God, this
It
looks
looks
good.
pretty. I say the same thing.
I know, that's where I get it from. I get it from you. Oh.
I can't read and not imagine.
Same.
They jamming in here. I know
They
that.
really are, no, for real.
They really. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay.
How y'all doing? I'm with the books. Welcome back. If you're new, you're in for a treat today. If you're returning, I got you, baby. Today we're doing our first collab with the beautiful Amber. Her channel, Happily Amber After. Go follow, go like. I'm so glad that you're doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
For us.
Yes.
Yes.
Y'all, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me with.
Yes. I first want to start by just loving on you just a little bit. We've been readers, but you've been a reader. And I want to first just thank you for being a part of my book haul. And I went back to another bookstore after we left.
Uh-oh.
Don't tell nobody. And I ended up getting you something.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
I got you some bookmarks. And well, they're magnetic page markers. They cute. Then I left the bookstore, the overthinker that I am, and I was like, you get her a lot of bookmarks. Does she like or need bookmarks?
I do actually.
Good. Because I was like, I be wanting to get her something different. And then I was like, get her a book. And I almost got you a book. And I was like, no, she's going to give you a list. So let that be.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, thank you for being a part of my book haul. She was my videographer for my book haul, for my birthday book haul. So go check that video out.
Yeah, and be kind. Show us some love.
Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Bear With Me podcast and more. Happily Amber After. So we are here at Lit Java, located in Pearland, Texas. Black owned.
Yes.
More specifically, women. Yes. So we decided what better place to do our collab than in a bookstore that is Black owned. Support indie bookstores, period.
Yes. Please.
So of course, while we're here, we had to patronize them. They are also a coffee shop. What do you have?
I actually got a strawberry matcha, so I had my cup of coffee for today. I did think about getting one. So I have a strawberry matcha here, and I'm excited to drink it.
First sip?
First sip.
You about to get a first sip.
Me.
Give it a swirl.
Since we on the Bear With Me podcast channel, with the book, we got the coffee too. All right, we ready?
Yes.
First
Oh,
sip.
I have the brown sugar shaken espresso with oat milk. Ready?
Tell me how it is.
Cheers.
Ready? Cheers. I got the strawberry, of course.
I'm ready for a pastry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, geez.
Everybody don't make good strawberry matchas, but this is a good one. And it's sweet. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's first tell the people what we're currently reading before we get into all of this.
Okay.
I'll go first. So by the end of tonight, I'll be reading this. And I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait to read that book. I can't wait to read that book. While I'm talking about this book, what does FAE mean?
Faye.
Okay. So in my July TBR video, I was like, is that Faye? What is Faye? What does Faye stand for?
It doesn't stand for anything. But basically they're like powerful fairies, if you will.
Okay.
So I don't want you to think fairies as in like Tinkerbell, pointy ears, wings. Fae typically are like magical beings that are like essentially superhuman. So they have greater strength. They have sometimes magical powers. It depends, just based on like the fantasy book, but a fae is it's a fairy.
Okay. I was so nervous to read that. I was like, what's a fae? And I'm like, is it fae? Is it fae? I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I'm not reading it yet, but I will be reading it tonight. But what I am currently reading, Before We Forget Kindness, it is by a name that I don't want to mess up. Toshikazu. One of the owners is here. You want to say hi? We just plugged,
Yes,
but we definitely always want to just celebrate Black women in business.
exactly.
So tell the people your name.
Hey everybody, I'm Angie, one of the owners here at Lit Java Coffee and Books, and we are so happy to host you ladies.
Thank
You
you.
so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. It is about a coffee shop that can take you back in time. There are rules that must be followed. You have to stay in a seat, in the assigned seat for the time travel. You have to go during the time that you can only go during the time that the coffee stay before the coffee gets cold. By the time the coffee gets cold, you're gonna be brought back to the present time.
Okay.
And then there's a third rule I can't remember, but this one in the this is Before We Get Kindness of the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series.
Mm.
I and it's like what I realize is it's short stories,
Mhm.
and it's like 4 parts. I'm on the second story.
Mhm.
It's cute, but Before We Forget Kindness, I'm just wondering if I read about kindness at all or forgetting it. It's cute. I can't say. I'm glad I did check this out at the library. Support your libraries because I don't know if I'm gonna invest in this, but it's okay. It's okay.
That's okay. It's good, not great.
Right.
Okay.
And hello, our vicious oaths. A warrior princess and a vengeful king from rival Fey courts form a fierce alliance to take down a merciless depot in this journey of powerful magic, enemies to lovers romance, and political intrigue. From award-winning author N.E. Davenport. Can't wait.
Fun fact about N.E. Davenport, and this book in particular, y'all. She is actually from Houston. I think she lives in Atlanta, if I read one of the books correctly. I think she currently lives outside of Texas, but she is from Houston. Fun fact.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's super cool. Okay, H-Town, what now?
Ew.
And tell us about your current read.
Yes, so as y'all know, we are in World Cup season. Everything soccer, everything football, depending on who you talk to, you may get either of those terms. But I'm currently reading The Defender by Anna Huang. And this is actually a sequel. And I think the series is called The Gods of Games or something like that. Long story short, it's about soccer players and how they find love. In this particular book, it is the main player, the captain of a soccer team, and he is trying not to fall for his coach's daughter.
Mm.
Uh-huh. So that's pretty interesting. The previous book was actually about this main character's little sister and her connecting with another soccer player that happened to be his rival. So that was a very fun experience.
Wow. Hmm.
Yeah.
How far are you in it, and like, what would you say? What you think gonna happen?
I'm about 70 pages in, so not very far. I just started this book yesterday. I do think that somehow the coach is going to find out about this relationship while they trying to, they're kind of in this phase now where there's like bickering and bantering.
Mm.
We acting like we don't like each other, but you getting under my skin in the best way
Mhm.
type vibe. So I think coach is definitely going to find out, and I think all hell is going to break loose, but obviously it's a romance. So
Okay.
I'm hoping we get a happy ending because there's a third book coming in October.
Wow. Wow. 3 books. Okay. Like it. So, as we already stated, we are at Lit Java. They did, in supporting them, we just want to let you all know some of their upcoming events. July 23rd, Behind the Waterline. This is a book talk or a book with the author. So, the author will be here.
On August 1st, here also at the bookstore, they're going to be hosting another author talk for Nitra Antoinette. who is going to be here to celebrate her new story, Silent Surrender.
August 19th, Vanessa Miller, The Ladies Hall, will be another author talk
Hmm.
and take us home with the next one.
And then our August event, because we've made a commitment together that we are going to go to an author talk every month. We're already booked through August now, so I guess we'll start looking for September soon. Anyway, so in August, late August, I did not catch the date, but we'll make sure to add it
August
down
20th.
below. August 20th, yes, thank you. So on August 20th, we're gonna have Ty doing a book talk here for her new book, Madly Driven, and that is going to be the event we think we are going to come to. And by I think
It's
for
pretty,
sure.
it's like 70% locked in.
Mhm.
So yeah.
I'm excited.
I am too. Let's get into it.
Yes.
Let's just go ahead and
Yes.
get into it, friend.
Yes, I'm ready for it.
Okay.
So if y'all see me looking down, it's only purely because I'm looking at my notes.
Yeah. So this came about, I had called her one day and I was just talking about my book content and what I wanted it to do and what I wanted to be in just more creative ways. And I was just like, we should collab. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, what we gonna talk about? And we just started thinking about everything and we just settled on just like a reader's journey. So much of this is gonna be a conversation. So we're gonna look at the camera, but we also just gonna be looking at each other. But we're just really gonna share with you all our reading journeys because the Booktube community, the Bookstagram community, the Booktok community, it is growing in a way that I didn't even know. Like now I'm here and I'm just like, hi guys. And I love it. And so we're just gonna share our journey because every reader's journey is very different. So kick us off, Amber. How do we know each other?
Well,
I think that's important.
It is important. We are coworkers turned friends.
I say the same thing.
I know that's where I get it from. I get it from you. Anyway, y'all, we were on the same grade level together. And when I came in, it's just I don't know. I don't really remember too much like our introduction, but I remember thinking like I like her. I like her. We were in the T Shacks, I think.
Yeah.
My very first year because they were building our school brand new. The school at the time was being built, and so we did our professional development in the T Shacks, and the rest is history. We're co-workers turned friends, literally.
Yes. I done been there. Baby girl done growed up. And when I say growed up, like I've been to her wedding, I've been to her baby shower, I've been so much a part of her family, like, and I love it. And I'm very, very much grateful for our work relationship because you want a Black woman that know how to work, that know how to plan, that is organized, that is just beautiful. And Amber, that's what you are. That is what you are. So that's how we know each other. Amber's the one who put me on to reading, like to where I'm at. And I was thinking and being reflective, like, I guess I've kind of been a reader my whole life. Like, I remember a bookshelf at my dad's house that was filled with books. More specifically, I remember my dad and stepmom, they made a book for me. So at the time, fun fact, I was born in 89. Little Mermaid came out in 89. And they created a book for me. And it was based around the Little Mermaid. So like my name is, I'm the Little Mermaid. And then my sisters, because I have a younger and an older sister, like it was, and my godfather, he was in it. Like it was a super cute book. And when I go home, I'm definitely gonna find that book because I need to let y'all know. But that book is a part of me. And then just kind of, I didn't really read a whole lot outside of what was required in school. I'll also say, unfortunately, where I went to school, I remember doing book reports, but I don't truly remember being immersed into reading. Then we get to high school, I only read what was required, but that is where my love for Greek mythology came.
Okay.
I'll never forget Survey of Literature was the name of the course. But just reading that section of Greek mythology, I was like, oh, I like this. Then college, I mean, every book you learn in high school got undone. And so I was just like, especially the history classes, I say, oh, that's not what happened.
Mhm.
Tell me more. And so that is where I slowly kind of started reading. I was going through my bookshelf and I found 2 books from my college bookstore.
Nice.
And I was like, I wonder can I buy these back and how much money I get for them. But I also like the books that they are, so I'm gonna keep them. Then we get into The Educator,
Mhm.
and I taught science, so it was like we're not reading a whole lot. But before you joined the team, there was another English teacher
Mhm.
who really showed me just how much kids or students needed that practice with reading and vocabulary, just like a lot of different things. And so I was just like, wow. And incorporating that into my instruction was, I saw the growth
Mhm.
and I saw the impact. And I was like, wow. Then I met you. And y'all, funny story. We on our way to a field trip. I forget what the field trip was, but we was on our way on a field trip. Amber got a nice little tote bag. And I think she had more than one book in the bag with her. And she was just on the bus reading her book. I'm like, what? And nosy, I was gonna say inquisitive, me being nosy, I said, what you reading? She was like, oh, and I wonder if you remember this book or I still have the book, but it was a retelling or I won't say a retelling, but it was the villains' stories. It was like a series of the different Disney villains, but their stories told from their point of view.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh. So one, it was Disney. So I was like, that's another thing we got in common. We love Disney.
Yes.
So that intrigued me that it was Disney, and it intrigued me that we was on a field trip. We finna go have fun, and she reading a book. And then for the most part, whenever there was a bit of downtime, which ain't often, Shorty just reading. And I was just like, huh, reading. And then 2020 happened. And the song throwing me off.
Yeah, no, for real though. I was thinking it in my head.
Yeah. Focus. 2020 happened. And we were mid-school year, so that was March, shut down.
Mhm.
And I don't know why, I don't know why, but I was like, I want to do more reading. And I pushed myself that summer to read 5 books. I ended up reading 4, but I felt good. And that new year, we were still virtual.
Mhm.
And the organization that we had founded on the campus did a virtual vision board, New Year vision board.
Mhm.
And because I had read in the summer and I was really enjoying it, I put it on my vision board to read 1 book a month. So 12 books. So you're going from a girl who read 4 in 3 months to 12. I'm like, oh my God. But Amber, being the amazing woman she is, super supportive. And I was like, yeah, we're finna do this. That year, I read 8 out of those 12. But that literally was kind of like the takeoff. Life happened a little bit, kind of slowed down on the reading, but now we're back.
Yeah.
And that's where we at. And I have Amber to thank for her. Oh, fun fact, she read 125 books
That year.
that year. The year that she was reading the books on a field trip.
Yeah, that was a good reading. I haven't missed that since.
Really?
Nowhere close.
Wow.
Nowhere close. That is a record for me.
Wow.
I've
Okay.
tried. I've tried. I've tried.
Where
I've
are you
tried.
now this year?
This year I have. This is book number 30.
Okay.
So not,
And we got
not
time.
too bad.
We
not
got
too
time.
bad.
Yeah, no. It's 30th July. Yeah.
My kid makes it impossible. Goodness.
I don't believe that because you be flying through books.
I be trying. But I see, so here's my secret. I have to switch to audiobooks, digital books, and physical books. So if it came down to me just reading physical books, I would probably read maybe 1 to 2 books a month. So because my sweet boy actually, I was reading a book by Natasha Bishop, her recent release, The Art of Loving You. And he thought the picture of the cover was really pretty. And so he was dangling my book by the front cover. Yeah, nearly ripped it and destroyed my book. So needless to say, I say all that to say I have to put my books away
Mm-hmm.
because he sees me with them and he thinks that what's
Yeah.
mine is his. And
Yeah.
so
So that bottom row is rather empty
he
on the
loves to
bookshelf.
push it
Okay.
now. So I'm cool with you pushing it, but just don't tear it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Even knock them off if you want, but let's not bend my covers, please.
Come on. Ooh, I
Not the
hate
cover.
a folded cover.
Oh,
The book don't look the same no more.
it ain't even. I don't even want it no more. I don't even want it no more.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
So tell us.
My journey to reading is actually pretty much lifelong. So my mom says that she read to us while she was pregnant. I have an older brother. So she would read to the both of us while she was pregnant with us. And that was something that was really important to her because neither of her parents got anything higher than a high school education. And so my grandfather had always instilled in her read. Anything you need to learn in life, anything you need to know, you can find out by reading. And so she became a reader. She had me. She would take us to the library every summer. There was no such thing as just sitting at home doing nothing. Like she took us, we did summer reading programs. Um, she would buy me books occasionally, not very often. But I would say my love of reading really kicked up around fifth or sixth grade. I discovered the school library, y'all. I had
Mm.
only been to public library, so I always had to wait on my mom to take me to the library. But when I discovered that I could check out books from school, the rest is history. I started checking out murder mystery books. There's an author named Joan Lowry Nixon. I know to this day. I used to read all of her books, and I remember one of her books was actually based on the Riverwalk in San Antonio. And then I used to read Goosebumps. I
Yeah.
loved Goosebumps.
My sister collected the Goosebumps that would live on our bookshelf. I remember that.
Mhm.
I was scary, so like I'm not really finna read that.
They weren't even that bad.
I know
In
they weren't.
hindsight.
Yeah.
In hindsight, maybe as a
And then
kid,
when they make a
yeah.
TV show,
Yeah,
I'm like, whoa.
I love the TV show. And then what else? And so then it got to reading Twilight. Those were like chunky, like huge books. Couldn't imagine reading a 400-page book in high school. But my friend and I would actually start reading together. And she would get books, and I would get books, and I could go to my aunt's house. My cousin had her own bookshelf, so I got to read more grown-up books. When I would go to my aunt's house and get books from her, from my cousin. So I've just had reading around me all my life. So it's just kind of stuck. My brother and I are completely opposite in that way. Like it stuck for me, and he's very much like I'm gonna read only what I have to read when I have to read it. And so I find it interesting that we grew up with that same like culture of reading, but we still have different perspectives. It takes me away from reality. It
Yeah.
allows me to just forget about my problems. It allows me to forget about what's going on in the world, and I can be somebody else. I can be in a different, story, and that's what I love about reading. So that's
Love it. Love it.
where we are.
um, how did you see reading in the academic space? Like, I know you said it started when you were in fifth, sixth grade.
Mhm.
Like that author kind of imprinted upon you, but like, what was your view or approach to reading in high school? Well, throughout, yeah, in the academic setting.
Hmm. Academically, I hated all of the books.
Mm.
Really, really. I think maybe the only required reading books that I can think of off the top of my head that I actually enjoyed was Bud Not Buddy. And I think I read that in like fourth grade.
Mhm.
I also I remember reading Number the Stars in fifth grade, which is a Holocaust book. And when I got to high school, I would say because I took pre AP and because I took dual credit college courses, I didn't really get the like classic experience like people are talking about. They got to read Catcher in the Rye or like a lot of Shakespeare. I didn't get that same experience. So I was reading more like college level literature, like Dante's Inferno,
Mhm.
The Odyssey. I do remember reading Their Eyes Were Watching God.
I remember reading that.
Yeah, I did
too.
enjoy that one. I remember
Yes.
also reading The Kite Runner.
Did you
by
read
Caleb.
Beowulf?
No,
Okay.
I didn't have to read Beowulf.
Mm.
I did not. And so that I hate it. I don't like being told what to read. I like reading what I want to read. So I really didn't have the most pleasant experiences with academic tests. And college, forget about it. Forget about it. It was even worse.
What, like worse when you say worse?
When you take the English courses, like it's very much like old Victorian English text that you have to translate, even though it's in the language you speak. Like
Mhm.
old English and today's English is not the same.
Mhm.
And so for me, if I have to translate and look up every little thing to understand what I'm reading, it's not an enjoyable experience. Now there are a
Bring some of your
couple,
matcha.
yes, there
'Cause-
are a couple exceptions. Like the New Jim Crow is a book I got to read for college.
Mm.
Loved it. The Color of Water by James McBride, loved it. Books like that, like the
Mhm.
memoir type books, I loved. But literature itself, I'm actually not a fan.
Okay. Um, when do you, so you've always kind of been a reader, but do you remember like a pivotal moment of like, I like reading for the escape or for leisure? Like when do you remember when that kind of started?
Yeah, I would say COVID.
Oh, really?
COVID. So I've always been a reader off and on, and I get into like I guess now the term for it is like reading slumps. I didn't know what that was back then. I just know I'm not in the mood to read, and if
Yeah.
I'm not in the mood, I'm not gonna read.
Mhm.
And so I would say COVID is what when I had bored in the house, kids weren't getting online to do the work. So what am I sitting on here talking about? I'm doing office hours for? I would say y'all for 1 hour in the day, and the other 23 were fair game. So I think that's for me when I realized that reading could be an escape, and reading was something that I took full control of. Because
Mhm.
being an English teacher, I still had to read literature. I still had to read books that I didn't want to read. But I got comfort in knowing, okay, I have to read that, but guess what? I choose to read this. So,
Mhm. So that choice.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about the bookish area because oh my goodness. Um, when did you realize like, oh, I want to start doing book content? Because I remember once I started following,
Hmm.
I'm the type of follower. Once I subscribe, I'm locked in. Okay. So sometimes I'll be a little stingy with my subscribe button because I'm very much aware of what I consume, and I think that that's very important.
Hmm.
So anybody who thinking you not really sure, I get it, but go ahead subscribe. Subscribe to me, subscribe to her. Go ahead, we'll wait. All right, because it don't take that long. Oh, and like, thumb it up. Anyway, once I'm into your content, this is I like to go to the videos and then I'll go to oldest and then I'll just watch your journey. And so I remember when I started consuming your content and I started focusing on the book content, I was just like, wow. So how did you get into like I want to do book content? I know that now it's kind of like holistic lifestyle, but when you were focused on specific book content, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, honestly, I don't remember my start with the bookish content. I do remember that I just decided one day I want to do hauls. I would get on YouTube a lot and I would watch a lot of makeup videos, actually. Funny enough.
And the eyes stay. Like I wanted to do me a little, but she got it. She got it for the both of us. She got two eyes. I got one. She got the other.
But anyway, so I wanted to just show off my collection. I wanted to show off my books that I took pride in
And
getting.
it's beautiful. It looked like this.
Low key. Low key, I was saying, I was like, dang, I feel like I'm at home. Yeah, so I think I just wanted to show off my books, and I know that I appreciated watching videos with like book recommendations because that's pretty much how I come across every book that I buy. Essentially, 9 times out of 10 was a recommendation, unless I just like the cover or something. But I just wanted to put myself out there, and I wanted to share books, and I wanted to share recommendations. I didn't really at the time have a lot of people around me that were big readers. So I didn't really have anybody to talk to about books. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just put it on the internet, and here we are.
What do you think has become the popularity of the content? Like why do you think book talk or booktube or bookstagram has become what it is now and just like Because when I look at it now, I'm just like, it's so crazy to me how there is a community for everything.
Mhm.
And that's what I'm realizing. Like, I don't know, but it's some girl that be jumping rope.
Mhm.
And she just be jumping rope to rhythm, and she got a cute little footwork. And I was just like, wow. And then once you do anything, the algorithm was like, give you more, give you more. And I'm like, there's a whole jump rope community. Or when I started cycling
Mhm.
and all the different cycle club pages and stuff, and I was just like, there's legit a community for everything.
Mhm.
So now my algorithm, my For You or my homepage on YouTube, like, it'd be like this person, this person, this person, this person. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be here, but I don't know where to start.
Mhm.
And so it's very interesting. But the negative side is that, and this is me going on my social media rant, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, but I'm not.
Mhm.
You get people who take a good thing and make it negative.
Mhm.
So I was watching some video that they were just like, social media is the death of hobbies. And basically, any hobby that people have and they start posting about it, it becomes kind of like a money grab. So like they talked specifically about coloring.
Mhm.
And like now you got to get these marker sets and you got to get these coloring books and you got to get this, and like everybody don't have that luxury, and it kind of creates that urgency to kind of buy
Mhm.
and stuff like that, and it kind of takes out the fun for it.
Mhm.
And I was like, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
And then I think about it in relation to books. Like, there's so many books,
Mhm.
but if you only constantly see the same 6, 7 books,
Mhm.
you don't know what. Like, it doesn't highlight other authors
Yeah.
and give them a chance to showcase and just kind of get themselves out there. So that's when I be like, support everybody,
Mhm.
because I'm sick of seeing The Cruel Prince. Have you read it?
No, ma'am.
And
No,
I'm
ma'am.
sick of seeing, was it Powerful, Powerless,
Oh,
Fearless,
the Powerless
the
series.
Powerless,
Yeah.
yeah.
I do have that. I've not read it though.
So I'm interested in that one, but not The Cruel Prince. The Cruel Prince just, I can't. I'm also just a person who's very hesitant to just jump on.
Mhm.
Like, you're not finna just get me because the same. No, give me something different, algorithm. But yeah. Anyway, um, which is a great segue into hot takes.
Ooh.
What are your hot takes about book talk? Like that community and just like all of that. Like, what you feel about book talk?
Okay, hot takes.
Mm-hmm.
Hot.
These are iced. I want this hot.
Okay. Well, we're gonna melt the ice.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I think Book Talk does a terrible job of is promoting authentic reading.
Mm.
Reading is supposed to be fun. And I think for me, booktubers that get paid for book reviews don't provide authentic reviews. And I say that to say not that they're being dishonest, but they are paid to read these books. They are given these books as gifts for reviews. And I'm speaking also as a person that gets books in advance, digitally, not physical, but holla at me, publishers.
Check out my girl.
Anyway,
Her opinion is real.
and so I think a lot of times they say that their opinions are not biased or influenced by these relationships that they have with the publishers, but the reality is they are. And to your point, everybody doesn't have money sitting around to buy 10 books in a day. Or, if I go through my library, sometimes I have holds. Like, I literally have books on hold for the library that is going to be on hold for months, 6 months. And so I think you get this consumerism to your point where everybody's just like, well, you have to go buy the Billy bookshelves, or you have to go buy, these book stands, or you have to do this, you have to do that. And I think it takes away the fun of reading. Reading is meant to be fun. It's meant to be something that allows people to escape. It allows people to see themselves. Even some books I read because I want to see myself reflected. I've been reading a lot of motherhood books lately. And so that's just where I am in life. I want to consume things about mothers that have different backgrounds and experiences that are different to my own. And so I just wish book talk was more real, more authentic, because I think the more popular book talkers are not very honest in their reviews. And I think that there are enough honest booktubers and book talkers that are just not seen and not known because algorithms push those that are more prominent, more popular, have more followers already. So how can you hear authentic voice if the algorithm is only pushing certain people? So
Yeah.
that's my hot take. What's yours? I want to hear what you got.
I mean, I like so getting into it and starting to incorporate more book talkers into my algorithm. It's been cool, but I can see when my algorithm really wants to push me somebody. Like one little girl, she was cute for her little short, but I can't imagine, I can't connect with her. Um, and like I said, it becomes a lot because I remember when it was like, I need to hurry up and go read this book. No, I'm not rushing myself like Kennedy Ryan's Score. I'm not rushing when I read that book. Like I know it just came out and I kind of want to be in the hub of getting it pushed out, my review or my thoughts on it and all of that. But I'm also just like, when I read that book, it's gonna be my time for me. And so then I will share to the masses or whatever when that time comes. Because there's always you want to stay current with the current, and but the current is always changing, and I can't really get caught up and swept up in that. So I like book talk for it holistically, but when you start to really break down its impacts, leave me out of it.
Yeah.
100 books a year. When you see people talking about trying to read 100 books a year, and you also one person that did 125 and didn't create a whole lot of fuss for it.
No.
What do you think about when people are like trying to push for 100 books a year? Like, what's your hot take on that?
I think it's yeah. We gonna get hot. We gonna get hot takes. Yeah, I think for some people that don't work for a living, that sounds like a fabulous goal. I think I don't think I set goals, but I'm very realistic about what I am and am not capable of. And so I think book goals are set to be something to like motivate even, but I don't think that's something that people should hang their readership hat on because whether I read one book in 12 months or I read 200 books in 12 months, one doesn't make me any less a reader. I still read.
Correct.
Or for my choice. You know, I still chose to pick up this book and do something. So I think there should be a depth to reading goals as far as content creation. I think that people should just be encouraged to read. People should just be encouraged to find something that they like. Not the same two fantasy books, but you know, different genres, exposing people to different things. I think get rid of that and quit making people feel bad for only reading a few books. Whether I read two or whether I read 20 or whether I read 200, it doesn't matter. We just need to celebrate reading. And that's what I dislike about book talk.
Amen. Amen. Um, 100 books, again, like you started off saying, for people who have that time, go off, do you. If you can get yourself immersed in 100 plus books in 365 days, that's you. But what we don't have to do is make other people feel bad for not reaching that.
Exactly.
And I think that that's what it kind of be like. Shout out to your 30, okay? I'm very impressed that I've read 4 for the month of June. When I went from what? Like, when the last time I read before I started doing this? I can't even remember. No, I've been reading the same 2 books for the last 2 years. They are not DNF'd. They are just, I'm going to revisit those books because one of them is my favorite author. And the other one, I just got to really immerse myself. I might need to listen, do an immersive read, and add that audio. Because now, if I'm gonna be honest, at one point I was like, I don't really like audiobooks, like, but I did the audiobook with Bell Hooks Communion. Girl, this the this the part about an audiobook. And maybe it was that type of book, because I was like, wait. And then I'm like, wait, because now I got to go back and highlight, and you still reading on the next piece. Pause, Belle, pause. It wasn't narrated by Belle, but it was Belle talking. Those are her words. And so, like, for me, an audiobook, now I see the power or the impact of an audiobook. And now I'm like, wow. And I also kind of liken it to, like, when I listen to podcasts. oh, you just talking. You ain't talking back to nobody and you telling me a story.
Yep.
And as a person who likes to tell stories, I like to listen to them too.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've since opened my not understanding but appreciation for audiobooks, because at one I was like, because I think the synapses that occur when actively reading and processing feels different than just listening. But there is still a level of comprehension that happens, and now I see it.
Yeah.
Now I see it. And then being truly understanding of and inclusive, I could see how people talking about audiobooks is not reading ableist. How you feel about audiobooks?
Love them.
Love them.
I always advocated for them. I actually, I actually used to get judged a little bit because I would prioritize using audiobooks in my reading classes. I got sick of hearing kids stumble over words and stuttering and tripping and being too afraid to speak out loud. And I wanted them to understand, like, it's okay to listen. Like, it's okay to consume by like reading and listening and taking multiple approaches. So I love audiobooks. I typically don't engage in immersive reading very often. Sometimes with fantasy books I will, if it's like a really action packed and I'm just like, okay, hold on. Let me switch to nonfiction Audible, and I got to wait till I can see the book too. But usually, like for nonfiction books that are a little bit longer in length, I tend to use my audiobook, and I'll read it physically or digitally. But I'll like, and if I'm on the road, I'm listening either to a podcast or audiobook.
And I also say too, like Bell Hooks was the first book that I did the audiobook on. Bell Hooks Communion, and oh my goodness, I can't wait to get those other two books. Oh, it was so good. Oh, it was so good. When I tell you it was highlights in there, you know how like when kids would annotate and it's like they didn't highlight it every, it's like, well, what's important? Because you didn't highlighted the whole thing. It was almost that for me. I said, wait, you got a lot of lines on here. So I was like, pause. When we're highlighting, what are we trying to highlight? And then I like pushed myself to kind of give a response to that section. So now I got I got stuff written in the margins of the book. I was like, oh, you don't really leveled it up. Okay. I found that in reading that, like it's a short read, but when I sat and I would just read, I didn't read as fast but with in comparison to the audiobook. And I was like, am I processing slower on my own? Like, it was a moment of like, what is going on? But I was like, well, at the end of the day, you're reading, you're enjoying it.
Exactly.
Who cares what about what? And this is your time. So yeah, I like audiobooks, and I think I'm gonna definitely do a little bit of audio when I read Our Vicious Oaths. I think I'm gonna do that.
Good. I feel like that's always a good rule of thumb for fantasy anyway. I always listen to fantasy on Audible. Audio. Because it's not necessarily through them. Audio I always recommend for fantasy because it just allows you to, one, get through these difficult names to pronounce. These random kingdoms, but I think most fantasy books typically have like dual perspectives, and so you get to hear different actors and different voices. Like it's entertaining. It makes it better. I think it makes for a better reading experience. For fantasy and nonfiction, I always recommend audiobooks.
Okay.
Well, I actually have some hot topic questions for you.
Okay.
We're gonna get into a little tea, a little juice, if that's okay.
Let's do it. Let's
reading edition. Reading edition. Okay. Well, yes. Let me hold on. Let me get myself together.
And I got another one too that I need to pull up on my phone because I got some stuff right here. But
okay. So I have some more. We're gonna start off easy.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. Okay, we're gonna start off easy with a couple of this or that, and then we're gonna get to the heavy hitters.
Okay.
Okay. So let me know when you're ready.
Born ready.
So you read romance, right?
I do.
We've been getting into the romance bag.
I'm a romance girly.
So we
never thought it, but then I be thinking about it, like, girl, you sensitive AF. Why wouldn't you like romance? You love rom-coms.
Well, that's true. That's fair. That's fair.
I don't even when I started thinking about that, I was like, why have I never thought about a romance novel? In all of my reading, like in 2020, it was biography after nonfiction after biography after nonfiction. I'm like, why did I never?
It has a reputation. Romance usually gets a bad reputation. I don't know
do.
why, but
They
it
do.
does. It does.
Unfortunately, but here we are.
Speaking of which, so what is your preference? Would you prefer a slow burn or do you prefer insta love?
I'm gonna have to say, based on what I read so far, I'm gonna have to say a slow burn
Mm.
because I just recently read the love lyric
Mm-hmm.
and it was a bit of a slow burn. And I realized too, I the s- the building of a plot or a story
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, girl, come on, get through these 30. Get through these 30. And I think that's more so just a me thing, not like a writing thing. I
Mhm.
think it's just me. Like,
Yeah.
come on, turn the page, come, read.
Let's get it going.
Right. But I think I do like a slow burn because if I'm really like focused in it and I'm creating like I'm a movie reader.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm.
when you are writing, when the author is writing
Mm-hmm.
and they say he tall, he this, he that, in my head, okay, he about this, huh? She about that. Yeah, and now I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
And lately I've been seeing on the gram people say when you read books, you're not thinking about what you're reading. And I'm like, people don't be thinking it's called imagery. Like, I'm just like,
Oh.
I can't read and not imagine.
Same.
And then I was like, wait, don't start doing that. Don't start doing that. But I was just like, this is a very interesting way to read. Like, what's in your head?
Cause right. How else do you process the words? I don't know. I've
So
never understood that.
yeah, I'm watching that. I'm watching that book. Which is exactly why I know what Josiah looked like. I'm talking about Kennedy Ryan Before I Let Go.
Speaking of which,
Okay.
next question is gonna get a little more spicy.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know what you're gonna ask me.
So
No, do
we
it.
know we love Miss Kennedy Ryan and her Skyland series that follows a group of black women. Two of them are mothers. One chooses to live her best fine rich auntie life, and I'm here for it.
Amen.
Anyway, so we have the Skyland series by Miss Kennedy Ryan, but we also have the Green Sisters by Miss Christina Ford. So you have one option. Are we riding with the Skyland
Ooh.
series or are we riding with the Green Sisters?
Hey, Christina. Okay. And Kennedy. Christina and Kennedy. Little backstory. I got introduced to Christina first. I remember when I called Amber when I was in the bookstore, I said, I'm about to do some reading. This was last year. This was February, March of 2025. And I was just like, I'm about to get a book and I need to know what to get. And so I picked up the partner plot first. And that was the first romance that I ever read. And then uh, while on the phone, Amber had told me about Kennedy Ryan. And I was like, oh, but then, because also another friend of ours, she was also reading rom-com and she had just, not rom-com, was just reading romance and she had also been reading Kennedy Ryan. And I was like, I wonder which book she had, whatever. And so she was like, well, don't get that because I do got something for you. So get that. I was like, okay, bet, cool. And then I got introduced to the Skyland series. So Christina and Kennedy, they both came to my life at the same time. But I'm gonna go to the Skyland series.
Okay.
Now, again, Christina, I love you. You were my first. That's a romance. I would say the way in which Kennedy wrote in each of those books, like the amount of depth, the amount of layers, the amount, just like, also there's a bit more, both of them I read for leisure, but I found myself, and I paid attention to it when I read the love lyric. one, I had to adjust. Well, I was just coming off of I Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
So going from first person to third person,
Mm-hmm.
that was like, whoa, like what I really enjoy about my, I would say consistent reading or just my more, yeah, my consistent and intentional reading.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm more aware of like plot development and characterization.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, wow, this is so much fun to be thinking about literature in this sense.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't before. And I found myself being a lot more with Christina. Whereas Kennedy, she said, look at that. And I was like, yes. And then she was like, and then this, and then this, and then this. And then just the way they're both strong writers. They're both really good writers.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go with Kennedy.
Fair enough.
I love you, Christina. Okay. You were my first.
Fair enough.
Nobody has that title but you.
Period. Period. Okay, another question. Now, you mentioned seeing movies in your head when you're reading. So that brings me to this next question. Which do you think will hurt worse? Getting a book that you love turned into a terrible movie, or your favorite book series never being finished? Like, say you come across a new book series that you love. It's supposed to finish, but you left on an eternal cliffhanger. Which is worse?
And then the first one was a book turned movie that's terrible.
Yeah. Say, for instance, they turned Kennedy Ryan's book into a horrendous movie.
Oh my gosh, that just deflated me a little bit. Because imagine, like, because fun fact, her series is set for a TV adaptation. So I can only, because if they don't do Josiah right, they jamming in here. I know
They
that.
really are, no, for real.
They really jamming in here. But I can imagine that I wouldn't mind it if a series ended off and never got picked back up because you could savor into the goodness of what was. And you could ask yourself, what if, but life is a lot of what ifs. Go ahead and make that movie trash and piss me off because now you done put it and now I can't get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I ain't got no money behind it to make it better. So, wait, that's what I rather? No, I would rather an unfinished series.
Unfinished series.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think I too would rather an unfinished series
Yeah.
because how do you mess up a good book in the movie? The movie should level the book up if it came after the book.
Let me interrupt to ask you, of all the books turned movies that you've read, which one have you enjoyed the most? Because do you agree books are better than the movies?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Which one? I have my one.
I would say the Twilight series. The movies are definitely better than the books. Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
And I've always felt that way, and that is a hill I am willing to stand on for eternity. Uh-oh. I'm bursting for impact.
Because, like, once I put it out there, it's on the internet. This is living forever.
Uh-oh.
Because I'm also trying to remember how many books turned movies have I watched, and what was sitting in my head initially, and then once you said what you said, I'm just like, wait, I didn't even think about it like that. But I would say, but see, I don't truly think that it's better. I think that it matches in a decent way.
Okay.
The Hunger Games.
Oh, okay.
The Hunger Games movies were just as good as the books. The books did edge them out. But I think when they did Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2, once you got to Part 2, it tinkered. Because the way in which I saw Peter transforming in those words and how he transformed in the movie. And when I say transformed, I'm talking about when they had held him captive and was messing with his psyche and all of that. Like, it was depicted really well, but it was written even greater. Have you read those? It's all right. We gonna leave her alone. We gonna leave her alone. We gonna leave her alone.
Spoiler alert. Actually, I picked The Hunger Games as one of my July books to read. So I'm actually gonna get my read in July. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Speaking of book reviews, in your opinion, because I mentioned this earlier, that book reviews are something that like bothers me with book talkers, because I feel like they give like thorough literary analysis of books. Like, did you like it or did you not? That's all I care about. I
Mm.
don't care about you talking about the author's word choice or, you know, like I don't I'm not trying to correct their writing. I'm not here to be an editor. I'm here to be a reader.
Mm.
So for me, a book is
That's
a
well
5-star
said.
book if I loved it. I don't necessarily have to reread it, but it's a book where I'm just like, you know what, gosh, I'm thinking about this book next week. Like
Mm.
there's a book I read a few weeks ago called We Used to Live Here. It's a horror novel. Living rent free in my head.
Mm.
That to me is a 5-star read. Now, did I like the writing? Part of the plot was slow in my opinion. But it's still
Mhm.
a 5-star book. I'm not gonna give it a 4-star because I didn't like how 20 pages made me
Mm.
feel. Like
Mm.
it's too analytical for me. So with that being said, based on your evaluation system or your rating system in your mind, do you believe, what do you, I guess, define a 5-star read as?
Mm. So, one, I'm still kind of fleshing out how I give stars
Mm-hmm.
because I like what you just said. I'm here to read, not edit. And I was like, wow, because I didn't really think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely thought about when I do start doing my reviews and wanting to give ratings, I wanted to approach it from that perspective a little bit. Like, how was the writing? How was the characterization? How was the plot? How was it this? How was it that?
Mm-hmm.
But when I truly think about if I recommend something,
Mm-hmm.
and then if it's a 5-star, I think about more so the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff that I'm just talking about right now don't even really matter no more.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think while all the books that I kind of think are 5 stars for me right now, would I reread them? I ain't reread none of them, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But that's because there's so much more stuff that I want to read.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I know where that went.
Yeah.
And I had that moment. And then I'm also wondering if I would still feel the same way about a book if I reread it. Like, would those feelings still give me the tingles?
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to find out because
Yeah.
we are rereading Wild Seed by Octavia Butler. I'm going to reread that book.
Okay.
That was my first book I read of her.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Ooh, that book was good. Anyway, I like to be 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to put it down.
Okay.
I gotta pee. I don't even want to go pee. uh, if uh, if it just really stirred up,
Mm-hmm.
if it lives rent free, like I'm replaying the I was gonna say replaying the movie. If I'm replaying the book in my head, and then also just like when I finish that, I'm just like, whew, yeah, like one of those feelings, like, mm. So that's what, and I think a 5-star book for me is going to pull on me emotionally more so, and mentally in a way that's like healthy exercise.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm here for it. So last,
Oh, before I want to hear what you guys say about that because that was a good question.
what with the
What?
5 star?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, definitely. I think something that resonates with me for whatever reason. I think also a 5-star read, kind of to your point, yeah, it is a feeling, right? Because I
Mm-hmm.
may enjoy the writing of an author, but it didn't give me that that touched my heart, you know, type
Mm-hmm.
vibe that some books may tend to give. And so I think 5-star reads are just books that you have a good time with.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it for the moment while I had it. If I come back to it, maybe I like it the same, maybe I won't. But I think that's the beauty in being
Mm-hmm.
able to read new books
Mm-hmm.
and approach new things because you don't know what you don't know until you find out.
Yeah.
So I think a 5-star read is just a book that you love. It's that simple to me.
Excuse me. Mm-hmm.
But I also don't get paid for reviews. So there's that.
But we're looking for it. So
I
get
mean,
with her.
holla at your girl.
I really enjoy Amber's brain. And when I say I enjoy her brain, her approaches to a lot of different things and her perspective has value. So, assuming that this video is not assuming, speaking into existence that this video will go viral and it will be shared and liked and all the things. You want her perspective. So, authors, publishers, check out my girl.
I appreciate that plug. I appreciate that. I'm not gonna cry because I ain't putting no good lash glue on today. So
And the lashes are lashing.
thank
There were
you.
a few times I was just looking at you and then them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I love them.
Thanks. Thanks. I didn't have my more simple lashes. I gotta go buy me some.
Mm.
All right. Last question. One thing that is really significant, I think, to me is the power of book recommendations. I think that a lot of people claim that they're not readers, but they just haven't found books that pique their interest or books that they like. So I'm really big on reading a lot of genres and reading a lot of books outside of my comfort zone so that I am able to give other people recommendations. Sometimes it works out. Sometimes I have to DNF because I will DNF.
Mm-hmm.
She DNFs. But my question to you is if you have just one book that you would recommend to readers, what one book would you recommend? And I'm gonna have to think on this too, y'all, because you would think that I would have an answer prepared, but I haven't. I haven't even thought of my own answer.
Mm-hmm.
So, what one book would you recommend if you this year before December 31st, 2026? What book must they read?
So at first it was like I pretty much knew it, but I want to say it's the book that I think resonates. And now I'm finna start. We're not finna do that. Um, it is the book that I think it transcends age, and it also transcends time because at any given time, this statement can hold true for you. But it's I Medusa.
Mm.
It is a YA Greek retelling of Medusa. And at the very end, Medusa realizes that like her purpose can change and what you think you are set to be and become and your purpose in life, it can change at any given time and for any different reason. And I think that like that's what people have to not what people have to, but that's what people should learn about themselves is like where you are when you're 20 and what your purpose is right then might not be the same when you're 30, 40, and so forth, and 25, or even a year from now. Because I mean, in the last 365, baby, if somebody would tell me that this is where I was gonna be today, I'd been like, what? Get out of here. And so in that book, oh my gosh, and it really hit at the end. Like it was good the entire time, but the way in which it kind of closed out, people kind of talk about YA, but leave them alone, turn them loose. So
People
yeah,
people sleep on YA.
so yeah, it would be I Medusa.
Okay.
hmm
Okay.
by Ayana Gray.
Come on, author's name. Yes,
hmm
ma'am.
And I will be following up with the rest of books, some more books. Y'all, she actually like responded back to me on her IG. I was like, oh my god! And so I'll be reading Beast of Prey. I think.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's on my TBR. Well, I ain't got it yet, but yeah.
Yes, right behind you actually.
Where you see
Oh
that?
no, it's Beast of Ruin. I think that's the second book in the series.
Oh, I see it up there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Oh, cute, cute. Ooh, what book would I recommend? I think I would have to recommend something that's just based on where I am as a reader right now. And I think the book that I would recommend for a pretty general audience to read, I have to think. Oh, I would say, I know. I'm going to give this recommendation because I feel like a lot of supporters that look like me, we tend to play it safe, I think, with books that we read by just simply reading a lot of black romance. And while I am here for it, because I love it, I would say I'm going to push us all out of our comfort zone and I am going to push us. So if I had to recommend a book to read, I would recommend, and it's a very big talk book talk book, but it's actually worth the hype that it got. I
Okay,
think.
I'm excited.
I think. So my recommendation would be A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas.
And I can't wait to read it.
I loved it for several reasons. First, the part that got my attention about Akatar is it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling.
That's what it is?
Uh-huh. Now
Okay.
you kind of have to stretch to figure out where the Beauty and the Beast part comes from. You have to kind of read into it a little bit before you get there. But when you get there, it's just like,
Okay.
y'all, I had to switch to audiobook because I had things to do when I was reading it, and I couldn't just sit at home. And it's that book. I'm telling you,
Page Turner.
you're not gonna want to put it down. You're not gonna want to put it down.
Oh.
You're not gonna want to put it down. So I say Akatar.
Have you read all the other ones?
Yes, ma'am.
All six.
I
So
loved
you've read
it
all
so,
six.
I loved it so much that I went from one book to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. I've averaged about a book per month. That's how I started my year. I read Akatar in January.
Wow.
So I have not read the fifth book, which is A Court of Silver Flames, because it's a different perspective. And I'm just having a hard time wanting to see things from this character's perspective. But my son's therapist actually told me it's worth the read. And she was just like, I promise you, once you read it, because it's a difficult character. She's the oldest sibling. I'm the youngest sibling. So I can't really relate to that dynamic of being like the oldest. And she has a bit of a harder exterior because she's been through more things. But I don't really know her story. So I just see her as like, girl, relax. But the book actually gives her story. And so you actually get to see why she is the way she is. So before book number 6 came out, which is already on pre-order, I have to read number 5 for Akatar. But I've read 4 of them.
Wow. I thought all 6 were out, so you just put me on. I didn't even know that. But that also makes sense when I think about, I was just on bookshop.com, org, or whatever, and it was like book 6 cover coming soon. But I thought like a new cover was about to be released and they ain't put it out there yet. Oh no, it's because the book ain't out. Okay,
Yeah, new book.
Good to know. Good to know. And I'm like, oh my, I'm excited for that when I read that book. Like I told you when I was like, oh, this is a decent looking copy, and it was I got it at Half Price Books, and I was like, bet. Oh, she not in. Okay, cool. That was good. I got it at Half Price Books, and it was, while I like getting brand new, crispy, uncracked spine, I was just like, there's so much more I want to get. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get you here. And it was still in good condition. I was like, let's get it. And I was like, that makes sense in my head. And I'm super excited to read it, but I'm nervous that it's gonna be that good, like people hype up, and I'm gonna be like, book number 2, book number 3, book number. Okay, y'all.
Yeah, but that's what fantasy does to you. I will say the books that I've come across that's fantasy, I feel like it's that genre that make you be like, I'm not doing nothing else. Don't talk to me today because I just gotta know how this war is gonna end, or I just gotta know if they gonna, make it out of these trials or whatever the case may be. I love fantasy. I went my whole life saying I am never gonna read fantasy. I don't want to read sci-fi. I don't care about dystopian. Try, give it all to me.
Okay, so fantasy. Would you say that fantasy is your favorite genre?
No, ma'am.
What is your favorite genre?
Romance, for sure.
Really?
Romance. And I would say a close second would be mystery and thriller. I'm very psychologically driven. So I like reading thrillers because I like reading from an unhinged mind's perspective. And I think that probably says a lot about me and my mental state.
I want to know. I want to see him go crazy.
I mean, that probably says a lot about me, but I also love like psychological thrillers. That would be number 2. And then I would say the third thing would be fantasy.
Okay. Nice. What aspect of reading would you want to get paid to do, and why?
Aspect of reading to get paid to do? I mean, actually read.
Okay.
And without having to give an opinion, without having to think about like what the experience of reading is like. I just want to be
like,
paid.
Amber, here go $50, read.
Baby, how much time I get to read? Okay. So yeah, I think reading itself is the part that I would like to get paid for because it's the most enjoyable part for me. Talking about books is good. Don't get me wrong. I love that. But just getting paid to read, ugh, booktubers don't know how good they got it.
Amen. Amen.
What about you?
My favorite genre. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I would say I don't know because just where I started versus where I am. And then just how I've been feeling. Like I'm also just not the same reader when I started. A part of me wants to go romance.
Hey y'all, we are back. Between content creation and real life, things happen. And our conversation did get cut short earlier, but we are back to just close things out right before we go into our silent read, which I'm so ready for.
Very,
I'm so ready for.
Very.
Never been to one, so I don't even know what to expect, y'all. I'm just here for the vibes.
And here to read. So,
Period.
yes.
Okay. All right. With that being said, we did purchase something from the bookstore because y'all know.
Can't go into a bookstore and not buy a book.
It's literally why we're here. So we're going to share the books that we got and go from there.
All right. So I got, and shout out to Lit Java one more time, Pearland, Texas. I got Junie. What time is it? 7:10. Okay, we got a little bit of time. We can talk about it. Alabama, 1860. 16-year-old Junie has spent her life enslaved on Bellarine Plantation, cooking, cleaning, and tending to the white master's daughter, Violet. Her daydreams are filled with poetry and faraway worlds, where she spends her nights roaming through the forest, consumed with grief over the death of her older sister, Minnie. When wealthy guests arrive, hinting at marriage for Violet and upending Junie's life, Junie commits to a desperate act, one that rouses Minnie's spirit from the grave, tethered to this world unless Junie can free her. She enlists the aid of Caleb, the guest's coachman, and their friendship soon becomes something more. Yet as long-held truths begin to crumble, she realizes that Bellarine is harboring dark secrets that can no longer be ignored. As time ticks down and Junie grapples with an increasingly unfamiliar world in which she has little control, she is forced to ask herself, when we choose love and liberation, what must we leave behind? And that is Junie by Aaron Crosby Eckstein. Or is it Eckstein? Eckstein. We'll go with Eckstein.
Yeah, we'll go with Eckstein.
So I'm excited for this historical fiction. That's what this will fall under?
Yes.
Historical fiction.
But it also sounds like it's going to be
Romance.
genre bending.
Yeah.
There's a romance aspect, and then it sounds like there's kind of like a magical realism. Like you're able to get your sister's spirit here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It sounds really good. So you let me know how that read is. I've heard nothing but great things about Junie.
Yay! And what did you get?
Okay, so I myself got The Love Simulation, and this is by Etta Easton. She is an H-Town author.
Hey!
And this is, funny enough, I have another book by this author called, I blanked right now.
We'll figure it out and we'll put it in there.
Yeah,
right there in the middle of the roof.
The Kiss Countdown.
There we go.
It's called The Kiss Countdown, and I know that was dealing with an astronaut and somebody else, but this particular book, we have a vice principal and a science teacher that are competing for a grand prize. However, while they are competing with one another, they find themselves more drawn to each other.
Like almost like an enemies to lovers, or competitors to lovers.
Exactly, competitors to lovers. So she, the main character, Brianna Rogers, has been told that she needs to stop jumping into things head first. Sounds familiar. So when the principal decides to rescind his approval for a library upgrade, she decides that she is going to compete with the football coach because they are putting their money on the football field instead of the library.
And we already got feelings about that type of activity.
Huh.
Mm.
Enters Roman, who's the science teacher slash football coach that she's having to compete with. And he is what they call a fine teacher, y'all. He fine.
Mm.
Okay. So you can only imagine when we competing, we got tension, and we might be a little attracted. It's gonna be good.
That already got me wondering, like, how they gon' if they both got visions or ideas for this money,
Mm-hmm.
how we see our values. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Those are our books from Lit Java. So we appreciate Lit Java. And I'm gonna look at my notes because I know what we said, but I also know I forgot what we said. We was missing. Okay, books we bought. Oh, okay. Getting ready to close out. We're headed to a silent reading. That is going to be a separate vlog on our separate channels. So make sure you tune in. Bear with me, podcast and more. And
Happily Ever After.
yes. Thank y'all for watching this. It has been super fun preparing for this as well as filming this. So we very much appreciate all of y'all. Thank y'all.
Yes, and a special thank you to you for deciding to collaborate with me.
Thank you.
Just hanging out with me today. I really feel like I've gotten my girl with time, and I am really happy because I am just overjoyed and thrilled to be your friend, to be a co-creator. It just really means a lot, and I'm not gonna go too far because you emotional, I'm emotional, I'm hormonal. I can't have it. But before we go, y'all, there is one thing that I have to give my girl with. Now, she thought about me earlier when she shared those beautiful bookmarks. And now it is my turn to share something with her. Now, please don't think that I went home and I'm just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this. I had this earlier, all right? Life happens. Anywho, so I just want you to know that one of my love languages with you in particular is giving you books. And
Go ahead.
go ahead. Okay.
Because okay, you gonna go? I'm gonna go.
You can go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because when I was rearranging my my bookshelf, I was looking at all of my books and I was like, Amber has been pouring into me in my book library for so long, and I was just like, I love her, and I wanted to tell you then, but I was like, I'm gonna save it, and then Jenna just never really fell into the structure, but like you saying that reminded me, like, no, give her flowers. So yes, God damn it,
Okay.
huh? Okay, as you were. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So yes,
Yes.
it aligns.
It does. It does. And so we're gonna add to that collection.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all, there is this book that Wit has been looking for months. I think at this point, when you were ready to get it last, the store didn't have it for whatever reason. And I knew the whole time that I had it, and I knew that I knew once I read it that this would be a book that you would love and appreciate. And I don't think I'm gonna appreciate this fully. So as you can see, it still looks practically brand new. So I am gifting you Church Girl.
Thank you.
We're gonna add this because there is never a need for me, in my opinion, to be selfish holding on to books or anything actually that someone else can appreciate better. And so I think that you are going to give this book a phenomenal home. And so I'm gonna hand her over because she is yours.
Thank you. This book is Church Girl by what's her name?
Naima Simone.
I saw this on her TBR, and I was like, or was it on your book haul? I don't remember, but it was you where I saw it, and then you read it. So it was on one of those, and I was like, oh, I want that book. And then I wanted to get it, meant to get it, didn't have it, and then yeah. So thank you for even thinking about me. Always. Okay, we finna go to get ready because they open up in 2 minutes, and we will be back on our channels with the silent. Oh yeah, people. Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta go.